All right, so are you ready to dive in? Because today we are looking at, well, it's a fascinating story.
Oh, yeah.
It's sports and it's money and maybe even a little bit of like that I told you so energy going on here.
There's definitely some gloating rights at stake.
Yeah, for sure. We're talking about Russell Okung,
Oh, yeah.
former NFL offensive lineman who made a pretty bold move
Mm-hmm.
back in 2020.
Yeah, what a story.
So just to kind of set the stage for people,
Yeah.
Okung decided he wanted to get paid in Bitcoin
Yeah.
for half of his salary with the Carolina Panthers. That was a $13 million contract.
I mean, that's a big chunk of change to be putting on the line.
Half of that
Yeah.
in Bitcoin. At the time, I mean, just the idea of getting paid in crypto
Right.
was kind of like out there.
It was pretty fringe.
Yeah.
It wasn't as mainstream as it is today.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine the conversations he was having with financial advisors,
Oh, I'm sure there were some raised eyebrows.
at least a
Yeah.
couple. So then fast forward to 2023, Okung retires from the NFL.
Right.
But one thing that doesn't retire
Yeah.
is his belief in Bitcoin.
His faith in crypto never wavered.
Strong conviction. And then comes this pivotal moment, November 11th, 2024.
Okay.
Bitcoin hits a record high, $87,000.
Wow.
And Okung, naturally,
Yeah.
he goes on social media to celebrate.
Yeah, I bet there was some I told you so energy in those posts.
I'm sure there was a little bit of that sprinkled in there. I mean,
Well,
wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. A little
Yeah.
victory lap is deserved.
Totally. But I think, beyond Okung's personal, win here,
Right.
this moment really puts a spotlight on this huge
Mhm.
question. Like, what if this is just the beginning?
Exactly.
What if Okung was onto something
Yeah.
really big that could change how athletes think about get paid,
For sure.
how we think about wealth, and even the future of sports finance?
Yeah, like the whole landscape could be shifting.
Yeah, Lori, so break it down for me.
Okay.
How much could Okung's Bitcoin stash be worth now?
So if we go back to December 2020, when Okung got that first Bitcoin paycheck,
Okay.
his $6.5 million stake could be worth over $21 million today.
Whoa. Okay, so more than triple
Yeah.
his initial investment.
It's a staggering return.
So suddenly that gamble is looking like a genius move.
It's tempting to say that,
Right.
but we do have to remember the crypto market, it's known for being a bit of a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Big swings up and down.
Huge swings.
Remember that dip at the end of 2022?
Oh, yeah.
Bitcoin was actually trading for less than what Okung paid for it.
Yeah, it really makes those potential millions feel very far away.
Exactly. And the thing is, we're dealing with a lot of unknowns here. Did Okung sell any of his Bitcoin at that peak price?
Right.
Has he adjusted his holdings since 2020?
We don't know.
We just don't have that information.
Okay, so yeah, while those potential gains are massive,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like a guaranteed win.
Right.
It's still a lot of speculation.
Absolutely. But even with all the ups and downs, there's no denying that Bitcoin is having a moment.
It's a big moment.
And Okung's early adoption looks pretty smart.
It does seem like he was ahead of the curve.
And, this recent surge in Bitcoin's value,
Okay.
it's not happening in a vacuum.
Okay.
It's interesting to think about this alongside some big political shifts,
Uh-huh.
especially in the U.S.
Okay.
The 2024 election cycle saw several candidates who are very pro-cryptocurrency win office,
Right.
most notably Donald Trump.
And Trump's victory seems to have sent like a wave of optimism through the crypto world.
Definitely. And it's not just a feeling.
Okay.
The Associated Press reported that many people in the crypto industry are hopeful that Trump will push for some regulatory changes.
Oh, interesting.
Changes they've been wanting for a while.
It probably helps that Trump has said he wants to get rid of Gary Gensler as the chair of the SEC.
Greitens have been pretty critical of crypto.
Yeah, calling for tighter regulation.
So there's like a perfect storm brewing here.
Yeah.
Election results, regulatory hopes.
And let's be honest, a little bit of that like vibes-based enthusiasm that follows crypto.
It's kind of wild to think that even a tough former NFL lineman can get caught up in the crypto hype.
It's true.
Huh.
But hey, who can resist the allure of those potential gains?
Right. It's like a real-life sports movie where the underdog scores big.
It's a compelling narrative for sure.
Yeah.
It is an exciting story for sure. But, beyond all the excitement,
Yeah.
I think we need to step back for a second and remember Okung was already a successful NFL player,
Right.
making good money.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that kind of safety net,
Right.
to be able to take these kinds of risks.
That's a really good point. It makes you think,
Yeah.
like, does this create a barrier
Uh-huh.
for people who want to get into crypto?
Yeah. Is it really accessible for everyone
Right.
who's benefiting from these big gains?
Right.
Who's getting left behind?
Yeah, these are important questions to ask.
Absolutely. As we learn more about this whole world of crypto,
Definitely. So while Okung's story is pretty inspiring,
you got to be careful
right.
of, not telling people to go out and make risky financial decisions.
Yeah, it's a tough balance.
Right.
Highlighting the potential, but also being real about the risks.
Totally. So education is key.
For sure. The more we understand about crypto, the better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I want to shift gears a bit here
Okay.
and talk about another really interesting part of Okung's story.
Yeah.
This idea of disrupting the way things are done,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the sports world.
Right.
I mean, Bitball,
Oh, yeah.
this league where players get paid entirely in Bitcoin.
It's a bold move.
It feels like he's saying,
Yeah.
we're going to rewrite the rules.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like a challenge to the old ways.
Right. And Oka has talked a lot about wanting to give athletes more power,
Mm-hmm.
more control over their money
Right.
by cutting out agents,
Mm-hmm.
financial institutions, all that.
Yeah.
Pretty radical idea.
And it's not just about individual athletes.
Right.
Okung believes Bitcoin can help build generational wealth.
Especially for athletes from communities that have been left out.
Yeah, it's a big vision.
It is. But let's be realistic here.
Okay.
Starting a whole new sports league,
Uh-huh.
that's a tough thing to do, even with the Bitcoin factor.
So many questions.
Right? Will fans even watch flag football?
Will big-name athletes be willing to play for Bitcoin?
Can this whole thing even last?
It's a big experiment.
Yeah, for sure. And we don't know how it'll turn out.
But even if Bitball doesn't become, like, super popular,
Yeah,
Okung is forcing people to think differently.
right. He's asking, are there better ways to pay athletes?
Can Bitcoin help make things more fair?
These questions are going to keep coming up.
As sports and finance get more and more connected.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes Okung's story so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about Bitcoin.
Right.
It's about being willing to try new things.
Yeah, challenge the status quo.
Explore what's possible.
Embrace innovation.
Even if there are risks.
Exactly.
It's like he's saying, hey, let's shake things up a bit.
Yeah, and that energy. Mm-hmm.
It's contagious.
It really is. Okung is showing us that things are changing.
The lines between technology, finance, even sports, they're
Yeah.
all blurring.
It's a whole new world out there.
Full of opportunities and, yeah, some uncertainty.
So much uncertainty.
But that's kind of exciting, too.
It is, in a way. So for those of our listeners who are new to this,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway from Russell Okung's Bitcoin journey?
I think it boils down to this. We live in a time where amazing things can happen, where risks can pay off.
Where thinking outside the box can lead to big rewards.
But it's also a time when we need to be careful.
Do our research.
Understand the
Don't
risks.
bet more than you can afford to lose.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Russell Okung's story, I can't help but wonder,
Yeah,
did he just get really lucky?
right. Was it just a matter of good timing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he made a big bet on Bitcoin early on,
Uh-huh.
and it seems to have paid off.
At least for now.
Right on paper, it looks amazing.
But as we've said,
Crypto is unpredictable.
wildly unpredictable.
You never know what's going to happen next.
Which I guess is part of what makes it so exciting.
Right, it's like the wild west of finance.
Yeah, and Okung's story shows that.
I mean, who would have thought a former NFL lineman would become a crypto pioneer?
Right? And now he's launching a league.
Yeah, trying to change the game.
It's pretty remarkable.
It really highlights how much the world is changing.
Yeah, technology, finance, sports, it's all blending together.
And the lines are getting blurrier all the time.
So what can our listeners take away from all of this?
I think the biggest lesson here is that anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know, in this day and age, we can't be afraid to take risks,
To challenge the way things have always been done.
to embrace new ideas.
Because those ideas just might lead to something amazing.
But of course, we also need to be smart.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Understand the risks involved.
Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Because as we've seen with Bitcoin,
Uh-huh.
the only thing that's certain is uncertainty.
That's the truth.
So as you keep exploring the world of crypto,
Mm-hmm.
keep Okung's story in mind.
Let it inspire you.
Maybe even push you to take a chance on something new.
You never know. You might just end up with your own I told you so moment.
That's right. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.